Hey guys, Sam back with you here. We're Monday the 21st here, and per the polling this morning, you guys want to look at Cardano to the dollar. Now I've been over to Bittrex for a while, so I'm doing it here. This is to the dollar tether on Bittrex. I've got a 4-hour here now. This is certainly one of the uglier charts across the crypto space here. I'm working from all the way back here, 38 cents here now. I mean, it's an unbelievable fall, really, right, from where we were here as to where we are now. So I think most likely here this is an X, and we're into trying to finish an ABC here, where there's not much. We got to pay attention to zero here, so I don't see another way. We can't. Right, I mean, we're just going to run out of room here. So I think this seems the more reasonable here, that this is a B, and now we're trying to finish in 5 down here. So the way I'm counting this, it looks like the extension will have to be in the first here, as I can get a good 5 here. But it looks like if that's 1, then I have to go 2, then I'm going 3, 4, and I'm heading down here. We're gonna it looks like we're gonna head below that low. We're gonna come down here. It's gonna get mighty low here. So extension the 1, 2, 3, 4 now. So clearly 1 is longer than 3, but 5, there's no way for 5 to be longer than 3 because we'd be below 0. So we have a count here that can work. It's not that, I mean, the Elliott count is not terrible, right? So we have a bit of a, this 5 is solid, A, B, C into the 2. Now we get a very wonky looking one wave here. Let's zoom in a little bit here. We get this kind of spike wave here. Now this, you wouldn't invalidate the count here, but it's sort of an anomaly here. So it looks like we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's ugly. I mean, do we have a failed low here? It's hard to know how to deal with that. So even if you did it here, this were the 3 here. I think regardless of how you do that, this is the higher probability here that this little ABC is our 2. So from that pivot here, so if I grab it here, if that is the 1 here, we come between the 50 and the 618, little stutter step here at the algo target, and they get all the way to the last one here. So this suggests to me that this was significant. So I think that's the only way to count this, is we get this diagonal, leading diagonal into the 1, ABC into the 2, down we go for the 3, ABC and the 4, there's the 5 of the 3rd right here, it would suggest. Now this, at this point in time, certainly looks like that's an ABC that's completed, so we'd have to check it, as we always would here. We'd take the 2 through the proposed 3, we come right to the 38, right? It's just exactly where you would expect to find it here. Now, if we were going to go up and challenge the 50, we got to pay attention to the wave 1 low here, as that might change the structure of the subdivision. But right now, with this pivot here, it's hard to see another scenario other than we've put in the 1 wave here, and we're going into the 2 and 3, 4, and 5 are still to follow. So that's what that looks like right there. And we got an algo target down here and 0 down here. So it looks like this could finish down here. It's hard to believe we've gone that far down. So it looks like this is what's unfolding right now. We could be just headed down here. So certainly, I know it's bulls want to think, oh, lows in 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Certainly seems improbable, but it's, this seems hard to see how that could finish any other way if this 1, 2 is correctly identified. All right, so we're back to symmetry. So it would just, you'd have to look at it this way and say, well, how would this look? If this were 1, 2, 3, 4 down for the 5. So if we got something like that, then that starts to look more reasonable, nothing outrageous here. So an abrupt 1, 2, 3, take a little more time in the 4. It looks reasonable here. So there's certainly, I would be very hesitant to suggest that you get on the buy side on the thinking that this were 1, 2, 1, 2. It just doesn't look like that's like we're finished here. So it looks more probable that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if we get down here, Yeah, it's right. As long as we're staying above zero, if we were to come to this level here, it's hard to argue with the idea that assuming Cardano is going to survive, that up we go, right? So if you've been buying, if you liked it any time in the last 18 months, well, you're going to love it down here. So again, right? So the safer way is let it pivot. Let's get an impulse here or a motive wave, and then try and catch the two, right? So there's, you're not leaving much on the table here. So if you're a long-term believer in the project and we come down here, that's not it's not unreasonable here because your risk is so low. So you could be, I wouldn't load the boat here, but you could take a bite of it here, a good sized bite here. If you get that retracement here, there's an opportunity to add to that. That seems reasonable here. So if we look for any kind of structure here that might be helpful to us, pull that off. Do we have anything here? It looks more like it's channel. Right, so even if I did something along those lines, it might get you there. Or if we pull it from the 2 to the 4, could get you down here to the center line here. It's not here. There's not a lot of room to go here. So it looks like this has got to finish now. That would complete the count. That would give us a clean finish down here if we can get a solid 5 to where you could start now ramping into the buy. So if Cardano survives, which I think is probable, well, that could be a very significant opportunity. So one to watch here. Nothing. Boy, that is, you are definitely buying the falling knife down here, but we're running out of places, right? That would be that would, for some reason, makes me think of hitting the wood floor there, where if the knife sticks right there, right? I mean, so it's just, so potentially that's the buy that would make you a fortune, right? So if it survives, right? So 5 years from now, you might be looking at that going, God, can you believe it was offered down there? The alternative is 5 years from now, you'd be saying to yourself, can you believe I was dumb enough to buy it down there? One or the other, right? So no need to be a hero. There's so much potential upside here. You could be a little more conservative and get a bounce and take the first retrace. That'd be my suggestion. All right, guys, that's all I got for today.